The ceasefire is holding in name only. Iran and the United States say they are still talking. But on the ground, missiles are flying, people are dying, and a key global shipping route remains shut. This is where the conflict stands today. Dial back to the 8th of April. That is when a ceasefire between the United States and Iran came into effect. The idea was to pause the fighting, open negotiations, and work towards a longer-term agreement. Nearly 2 months later, that agreement has not materialized. And this week, the situation took a sharp turn for the worse. Yesterday, Iran fired missiles and drones at Kuwait and Bahrain. These are two Gulf nations that neighbor Iran across the water. The strikes injured a significant number of people. One person was killed at Kuwait's main international airport, an Indian national. Iran launched these strikes after the United States hit an oil tanker that was headed to Iran. It was the most serious exchange of fire between the two sides since the ceasefire began. Despite that, both sides say they are still talking. The two sides are trying to finalize the details of a temporary deal. That deal has two key components. First, extending the current truce by 2 more months. Second, reopening the Strait of Hormuz to commercial shipping. In Lebanon, a separate but connected crisis is unfolding. Israel has been fighting Hezbollah inside Lebanese territory. Hezbollah is an armed group backed by Iran operating in southern Lebanon. Yesterday, the United States announced that Israel and Lebanon had agreed to a ceasefire, but there is a condition. Hezbollah must also stop fighting and pull its fighters back from the border with Israel. Under the proposed agreement, the Lebanese army would then move in and take control of those border areas. This is significant because it would be a test of whether Lebanon's own military can keep Hezbollah in check. That is a question with no easy answer. Hezbollah has operated in southern Lebanon for decades. The Lebanese state has historically struggled to contain it. This is where the Iran-US talks and the Lebanon situation become entangled. Iran has made its position clear. It says any deal with the United States must include a ceasefire in Lebanon. The two issues, in Tehran's view, cannot be separated. President Trump disagrees. He wants to keep the Iran nuclear negotiations and the Lebanon conflict on separate tracks.
Is it possible to get to a deal with Iran, whether to go in and do that or to open up the Strait of Hormuz without seeing an Israeli cessation of their hostilities in Lebanon?
I think it would. We're trying to separate it. I mean, you look, it's a very different kind of a thing.
That disagreement is one reason the talks have stalled, but the pressure is mounting on President Trump.
Current Resolution 86, on which
The United States House of Representatives voted to halt the U.S. military campaign against Iran.
On this vote, the yeas are 215 and the nays are 208. The concurrent resolution is adopted.
To be clear, this vote does not immediately end the war, but it is a significant political signal. It came from a House led by Trump's own Republican Party. His own allies are pushing back. The reason is not hard to understand. The war is unpopular with American voters. It has driven up energy prices, which has pushed up the cost of living. Americans are paying more for fuel, for food, for everyday goods. And 5 months from now, in November, the U.S. midterm elections are due. Those elections will decide which party controls the United States Congress. For Republican members of the House, the war has become a political liability. The United States and Iran both say they want a deal, but wanting a deal and reaching one are very different things. A key waterway remains closed. Lebanon is still burning. Missiles are still being fired. And in Washington, even the president's own party is losing patience.